swear to God, I only got an hour's sleep last night. I'm really not in the mood to rhyme tonight. But yes, 1 hour sleep. It happens every once in a while, I guess. I don't know. It's like somebody slipped me an anti-Mickey, you know. Instead of getting all loopy, I got like super energetic, you know. What is that? Super Saiyan. And I absolutely went to bed at 10. Did not sleep for 2 hours. Got up 2 hours later, decided to take a Benadryl and try to ease my suffering. Still not tired. 2 hours later, I'm like, I'm just going to go force myself to, lay down. I was just an insomniac for the next 4 hours. Finally woke up. The next 3 hours or so. Finally woke up an hour after I went to sleep with my alarm going off. And, yeah. So out of 8 hours of possible slumber, well, total 9 because I kind of slept till 7. Yeah. What's that? Oh, I'm so sorry. So... Well, if you listen to Nerdrotic or watch them, one of the things that they say is in their theme song is, here they come and the crowd cannot wait. I apologize because I'm probably late, or they're probably late. So, yes, well, hey, man, it's a thing. No, I'm just, it's the light's not so bad today, but I am freaking tired. So, and actually, that's the funny part. I'm kind of loopy, but I'm not that tired. I mean, I should be. I feel like I've been up for a long time. And I think mentally I've definitely been awake for a long time. But I'll tell you where I've been. So, as you can tell, I'm still in here. But I have, if this is the mothership, I have the other ship ready to go, with the exception of some Windows updates, which I'm taking care of now. Also, I'm in the bug phase where I was set up and absolutely ready to do this tonight upstairs. Yeah, about an hour ago. But there was one little problem at the very end where I couldn't get my webcam to connect to OBS. Great time. So I decided, all right, screw it. I'll just come downstairs and do it here. So, well, that's fine. I have only a couple of guitar friends in person anyway. And, one of them just got hired. So that's kind of nice. For the mostly cover project. But it's also the same group that would do Cat Paralysis. So wherever our Black Pill Julia might be this evening, that's the group that's going to be playing it live. So that's that. Well, at any rate, let's roll up the sleeves and try to get to work. I have a little bit of tea left in here, all nice and green. Hiya. And I haven't eaten in a while, so I'm going to have a cookie. Then we'll get the show on the road. So, anything interesting happened today? Anybody's prime minister's quit? Anybody's, what's that? Let's see, don't usually go out. Start going to concerts. Yeah, concerts are weird, man. I'm not a kind of guy who's just going to go ahead and say, oh, yeah, you've got to get out. So I'll give you some for instances. For instance, I hate movie theaters now. I used to go to movies all the time. And I learned to dislike them because of other people. Concerts are much the same way. With the exception of Yngwie back in October, the last concert I went to was Opeth back in 2000, and I think 4. Possibly 3. Could have been 3. But and that was the last one I went to. Why? Because people suck. So it is what it is. You do meet people, though. I met a couple of real cool folks over at the Yngwie concert, and I met one authentic weirdo who cut in line, but kind of pleasingly so, in a weirdo kind of way. Dude was just a big old ball of nuts. What do you say? Anyway, cookie for you, sir. Oh, store-bought. Maybe somebody mixed something in, and that's what made me so damn wired. Who knows? Oh, your redacted messages. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Don't be doing that. It looks weird. All right. Your coffee there? All right. I don't know what you're doing with all the redacted messages. It's just weird stuff, man. But Yeah, don't do that. Oh, whether or not you want to go out, that isn't that personal. Oh, okay. I got you. Well, at any rate. So I thought we'd start out with a little bit of easy. And just hold a note in vibrato for a good minute. Without any other notes, of course, coming out. But if you're having coffee, you probably don't have a guitar in your hand. Now I can do it. I only have one cookie to go, so. But you see, I'm earning my cookies by doing this. I love that bowed string effect. It's kind of nice. I'm going to switch it up to the next finger now. Don't have any other fingers on there. I mean, I could, but I don't. You know, I've got the sustainer down there if I wanted to use it, but I just don't think I have to. This is kind of keen, you know? Just sit and hold the vibrato. I like pretty much everything, but what is that? The cut is very tough. Gristle's good enough. Can't remember the name of that one, but yeah. So, all right, you're reporting in though. So as far as the Candlemass is concerned, I think Ancient Dreams was the one that you should be checking out. It's probably their most famous, and it's quite excellent. They're tuned to E flat on that, by the way. But what is that? It's got some pretty neat stuff. Did you check out Sacrifice? They have a couple of albums. The one I would recommend is Soldiers of Misfortune. One of the few Canadian acts I can really get behind. Let me explain the Canadian problem while I'm chewing. So I don't have a problem with Canada. I've been to Canada. I honeymooned in Canada. It's fine. It's a nice place. Weird governmental parliamentary system and all that kind of stuff. But, they're their own country. It's a thing. Still kind of worship the Queen, even though they're their own country. But, it's a thing. Now, the only problem that I've got with Canada is that every single time I hear a band that I don't care for, but I don't know why, it's usually because they're from Canada. Now, this doesn't go so far as this. Do I speak French? Do I want to speak French? Is the bigger question. No. I speak English. You may have noticed. The thing about English is many of the words in English are actually French, and it's because of the whole Norman invasion and all that kind of stuff. But, what do they say about English? English is 5 languages masquerading as one. But the thing about the French deal, I mean, we have words like lawyer. Well, that's a French word. So, hooray, we have, just to come up with etymologically French words, there's literally hundreds of them, thousands probably. But another lawyer is the first one that comes to mind. Repertoire as another one. I mean, these are kind of obvious. If it has more vowels than consonants, it's probably, French in origin. If it has an even number, it's probably Latin in origin. So, sure it is. It's all sorts of things. It's all a big mixed bag of stuff. So. Well, a little news of the Wired and the Weird. Band practice actually went sublimely on Saturday. This is when I started to notice a big crazy thing in the energy department. Go ahead, dude. Say personal things and then remove them. And just make sure I've read them first. Otherwise, all I'm seeing is message redacted. And then, you know. Anyway. How's your Jackson? Asking me how your Jackson is sounds cool. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Ever since I got this last distortion pedal, it's really just high drive, high overdrive. This Moen, M-O-E-N, Deep Blue distortion. I can't stop playing. That is one of my favorite sounds to hear right now. It's got a lot of nice breakup. You did return it. Okay, so you didn't want the hassle of going ahead and trying to, power through. Oh, what about the other one? Did you try the foam? Was that the Donner? Yeah, not for 150 off, maybe 300 off. I mean, I can understand. It was a pretty big blim. Well, it's in a case right now, but that ESP that I was talking about last week, when I got it for $400, and it's a $1,000 guitar. So, I got it basically for over half off, like 60% off, because it had those massive dinks. I did win it at auction, and I did spend more than I wanted to by a good $50, $80, but I got it nevertheless. There are many reasons usually why cheap guitars are cheap. Yeah. I got a buddy right now who's looking at getting a 22 fret red iridescent swirl Jackson Rhodes for an unbelievable price. It is an unbeatable price, but it's got a lot of work that needs to be done. It's got a big chip back over here in the corner, and what's that? Saw a video recently on YouTube where Chinese guitars are badly made or something. Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree either. They do the best they can. And, well, it may be like the cheap knockoffs, like the, that they're talking about. As far as like Donner is concerned, no, China is really, really, really quickly, almost obscenely quickly, improving their quality control on just about everything and improving in leaps and bounds in technology and other areas where the rest of the world just kind of has lost the edge and doesn't appear to want to do much. So, to counteract this stuff. I mean, look, they came out with, 3 stealth platforms in 3 days, essentially. So, right about the new year. Well, there's a thing about that, though. I got to say that, and I do subscribe to some channels that do talk about that kind of stuff. But Sandbox, for one. But nobody's talking about is why they did it. And so if you're going to push a new stealth platform in public, in daylight, the only reason why a company or a country is going to do that. So yeah, that's exactly where I was going last week when I said there's one particular group, right? So that's sometimes it's hard to tell. But no, I just can't get over it. It is what it is. But I was going to say though is they've come out with 3 platforms. And leaps and bounds in technology. Everybody's assuming that the tailless wonders that they're flying right now are naturally going to be, is that like Generation 6 fighters or 6th generation fighters? We don't know the ins and outs of them. We only know what they look like from the outside, and one of them's got 3 engines, and that one of them's got, essentially like 2 engines, and one of them is like this almost like bicameral stealth. They say it's stealth. It's not. It can't possibly be stealth with the platform that it has, but reconnaissance drone. But yeah, man. I mean, but assuming that their technology on the inside of the plane is as advanced as the outside of the plane looks, there's only one reason to show that, is that they want us to show our hand too, or other countries to show what they have, because we've been in development of that kind of stuff now for 30 years, or longer. But usually it's between 20 and 30 years when stuff that's been classified for that long decides to come out into the blue. But yeah, if you're going to show something like that in daylight, you're going to make a lot of people around here who don't know that we have stuff like that nervous. And then for the people who have been testing that kind of stuff, it's going to be, crap, we're going to have to come out with it. Otherwise, the public's going to think we're lagging behind, and we've got, like we had in, the Cold War days, a bomber gap or something like that, or a missile gap. Or, we did have a missile gap. We still do. We have a missile gap that's based on our own stupidity in signing treaties that gets rid of most of our stuff, but doesn't get rid of other people's. So it is an interesting circle, because, it's like, I'm going to show you what I've got. Look at this. You don't have anything like it, or at least the public doesn't know you have anything like it. So what are you going to do? You'll either let us see your stuff, because you have to fly it in public now, or, your public is going to think that you're lagging behind. So yeah, almost everything a communist country does, and they're a communist country, almost everything a communist country does is geared towards exploiting the West, in the sense that the West is always the ones who wind up paying for the stuff that they do, and at the same time we're blamed for everything that's bad to the communist countries, even if they don't let capitalists in. So, for instance, did you know the Soviet Union, when it existed, was the largest grain grower, like, on the planet? They grew more grain than anybody else, and they exported more grain than anybody else. We imported grain to them so that they could eat, even though they were exporting grain. So there was a net exportation of grain to their detriment. We substituted, and our biggest import to the Soviet Union, even though there was supposedly trade embargoes and all that kind of stuff. No. We imported grain to them. We gave them food. So, and they still blamed us for all the problems that they had. It's amazing. And it happens with every communist country. So, yeah. No, it's a funny thing how that works. So, without capitalism, communism couldn't exist, because they wouldn't have anybody to blame for their own problems. So, well, remember, I'm old. I grew up during the Cold War thinking we were going to get nuked, and I was going to grow up with an irradiated, country. So I thought it was going to be fallout. Everybody did. So Gen X, we're the tough ones, But the band practice went very well. Except for the singer who doesn't want to sing with us, unless we got a gig coming up. We don't. But we will. But the singer is great. The other guitar player, pretty damn good. Very happy to have him aboard. He can definitely hold his own. Made me want to start chasing sounds. I'll show you this. Thoughts on the Floyd Rose Special Bridge. All right, well, do you see the green and white guitars behind me and the black one? These three Jackson Dinkies. So, do you see those three Jackson Dinkies behind me? I know there's a delay, but I'm going to ask you. So you see those three? Do you see these saddles that are stainless steel and stainless steel? Yeah, it's because the saddle block, and the saddle itself, when you screw it in, the saddle broke when I was trying to lock the block in place. So I replaced them with stainless steel. On two of those three guitars, I've had to replace the base plate as well, because the knife edges wore out because it's made of soft metal. So I don't really like Floyd Rose Specials. I like Floyd Rose 1000s. And when you buy a base plate, buy the Floyd Rose 1000. They're all cut to fit the same. It's just different metals. So like zinc is going to wear out very quick. I got cat hair on my face. Or I'm really tired and I'm wigging out. So, so base plate replaced, base plate. I think that's got the original base plate. I've moved a couple of things over there. That was over there. One way or the other, yeah, the stuff wears out much more quickly. I've got a Floyd Rose 1000 on that Jackson over there, which was that Jackson over there. Let me identify that. Oh, with the super, this guy. There we go. So we can illuminate things now with the black light. But that one right there, that's got a Floyd Rose 1000. The orange guitar down there has a Floyd Rose 1000. Haven't had one problem with them yet. I have not. I've always wanted one, but I find that they're also very expensive. And you don't have to mod a guitar too much to have them, but I'll tell you what. If I can get a 24 fret version of an Ibanez Racer X guitar with a Kahler, I would be very, very happy. So it would make me so happy. Actually, no, that's not true. I have played on a Kahler once, but the guy didn't have his bar. So it was just basically set up as a fixed bridge. But that's the neat part about the Kahler is you are playing a fixed bridge with a... oh gosh, what is that? It's like a spring-loaded mechanism. I can't remember the name of it, but it's essentially what the springs or the strings go around, and you can pull it up or push it down, and it's spring-loaded. It's going to spring back into the normal spot, but it's not like held on like a knife edge here. So it's going to feel a little strange, but no, Kahlers are great. And they did come up with a Floyd Rose type of Kahler called the Kahler Spider. Those looked very interesting back in the day, but I've never played on one of those that I know of. How's that? So this is A minor 7 arpeggio. Let's do that. If I was going to play that with tapping, a la a person by the name of Matteo Mancuso, ridiculously good guitar player. Okay, so you hit that, then there, then, and you can just practice them individually, you know. Then all together, and that makes a happy. So on the other hand, you can alternate and do other things too. So if you're doing this, why don't you take that up a little? Yeah, stuff like that. Just giving you some ideas, man. I'm not really, trying to teach the thing. Speaking of teach the thing. Oh, that's loud as all get out. Sorry about that. Okay. Actually, I think it starts up here. Then this is a great chord. Yeah, it's like, something like that. Then letting go of that is weirdly hard to do right now. How do they go from there? Nope. That's right. To, I think. Which could be here or to there. Actually, I think it goes from to here. There. Oh, that's actually Pink Floyd. Great Gig in the Sky. It's a piano part, but I never really sat down to learn it. Well, the other guitar player named Mark. Oh no, it's it's good to do exactly what you're doing. So don't let me, I'm not glossing over that. I'll get back to it. But this is a little Pink Floyd thing, like I was saying. I used to listen to a band a lot called Wrathchild America, and they covered Time, which is something that I covered the lead for, I want to say back in June, or maybe it was May. I still had my hair, so it could have even been April. But it was probably April. But I covered that lead. At the end of the song, they go into a electric guitar reprise of the beginning of that. So that whole... that's great to me, but... again, fingers are saying no. I might not even be right there, but those are the notes. And this is definitely the chord. And, you know, continuing on. And you might even just... oh no. Yeah. But yeah, good stuff. And then there's a big kind of lead that goes over. But they didn't do that. They just used that as a fade out. But I always wanted to learn it. And because other guitar player, Mark, because he was playing it, that made me all kind of jazzed up. And of course, naturally, when I'm inclined, I'm going to learn something. So I went ahead and I sat through the chords last night and I figured them out. So I'm happy about that. But I'm not as happy as I would have been if I already knew it before going in there, so I could at least play along. Otherwise, I was lost like a little puppy. So as far as other things are concerned, play what's in your heart. So that's in your mind. This is where I'm going back to that. We want to write a backing track, solo, make a video, ours together. You know, I'm kind of the lead guitar player here. Yeah, I could come up with something. As long as you can harmonize this. And then I'm game. Especially if you're playing leads. So, which means I have to turn this back up again. Let's go here. There we go. Something like that. So if you want to harmonize that, I'm down. We'll do it. Or we could cover a Judas Priest song and just play the parts appropriately. I think that would probably be better. So. Yeah. Same pick angle when ascending and descending equally fast. And sort of. So, pick angles. I don't do the Troy Grady thing. Because when I learned to play fast, I didn't know about the Troy Grady thing. It was before that came out. So the whole cracking the code deal about upward pick slanting or downward pick slanting, I didn't know about this, type of deal. This type of deal where it's down. That doesn't work for me. When I saw him do it, I'm like, yeah, that's great, but I'm already doing something like that. I do upward pick slanting because it's easier for me for my type of string crossing. So I like to go in between strings. So when I'm playing, I'm also unplugging the cable. So when I'm playing and I want to go fast, yeah, I just wish he was around 20 years ago when I needed him the most, or 20, 30 years ago maybe when I needed him the most. But so when I'm picking, you can see I'm starting to angle like that, right? Because this does exactly what this does, which is the whole allowing you to cross over strings You know, if you watch his videos, I mean, you say you've seen him, so that if you watch his videos, he's going to talk to you about downward pick slanting. As far as this is concerned, down, up, down, down, up, down. You know, that kind of thing. It works pretty well. Unless you think you're starting on the E string and you're not, probably because of exhaustion. But it doesn't work for me. What works for me is going the other way, which also allows me to cross over and around strings and through strings just as effectively as if I was going like this, because it's just an angle. And that angle is pointing upwards, like that. So, but I don't do that like all the time, especially like with rhythms. Down picking. That's kind of a downward pick slant. Right, but at any rate, this, the more speedy things, down, 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 up, up, up. There is a change. But you see how I just immediately, when I start doing the faster lines, I cock it up that way. And it works great for me, both directions. So Disposable Heroes, that would be... Let me put it on an authentic rhythm channel. With a boost. It's a little better. So yes, this whole... Oh, the Frayed Ends of Sanity. That's fun. Hey, doggy. You need out? I think I have to let my dog outside. If you'll excuse me for a moment. No accidents in the house. That would not be good. All right, Savannah. Hold on, Bubby. Hold as a puppy dog. Let's see. Let me kick that off. Give it a little more of rhythmic thrust, I suppose. Doggo is out. I am returned. Dun 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 dun. Yes. So, Frayed Ends of Sanity. No, wait. I'm going faster. Yeah, so let's see here. Oh, it's been a long time since... Too much treble? Yeah, for me, yes, because it's the pickups. If I changed the guitar, it would be a little different. But in the meantime, oh yeah. There. Parametric EQs make a big difference. So. let's see. No. Yeah. No. I'm sorry? Did I ever get nervous when doing guitar videos? No. Just the first one, because I was blind and I was going into uncharted territory. Because, well, for many reasons. For one, I'm actually putting myself out there. And when somebody sees a video on YouTube of somebody playing, there can be all sorts of things. After I got the first one out of the way, I was good. I didn't care. It was all right. You can't take it easy. Well, you shouldn't. You know, you should. It's like approaching a power tool. You should respect it. But it's not something... So, you know, nerves are just your body's way of telling you that you want to do well. And so once you figure it out, you know, that, oh, that's that. It's just my body saying that it wants me to do good. You know, it's that it knows my mind wants me to do good. Then it's just nothing. I don't know. I just turn it off. I don't... There's no reason to be. People are going to love or hate one way or the other, and it's not up to you to decide. So, you know. Oh, there he goes again. I didn't even think any of that was personal. Except for the nerves bit. That's a cute thing. No. What am I doing? Now, like I said, I only got nervous on the first one because I was legally blind. I could not see the fretboard. I could kind of see a vision, a little bit of what was going on, but I had no real idea where I was. And like I said, I never really put myself out there. Out of all the time that YouTube's been alive, and I've never posted a video. This was the first one. I mean, I'm like, might as well, I guess. So I did, and I had a little bit of nerves about it, but it got a decent reception. So after that, I was okay. I just didn't care. I was okay. And most of the... Yeah, actually, I was thinking of redoing one myself. There's a death one. There's two death ones, actually, in the early days of my covers that I only did as one guitar, like as if I'm just sitting in a room playing along with it myself. And I was, but I wasn't properly covering it. In other words, there's two guitarists there. I should be both guitarists. So both Chuck and Andy LaRock. So I did Trapped in a Corner, and I think I'd like to do it better justice. I also did Overactive Imagination. Don't cry. You're good. Well, let's play Spot the Mistake in your Iron Maiden cover. Hold up. I'm sure you want me to do that. So let's see here. Proper YouTube opening. Excuse me. I might actually be able to sleep tonight. This is very, very good. Well, I mean, it might be. Oh, Dawkins, Burning Like a Flame. Have you ever heard a band called... Look, Ozzy's first drummer and bass player, not in Black Sabbath, used to play in this... But Uriah Heep. Uriah Heep has a song called The Wizard. An album called The Wizard, I think. But the first track on that, it's Burning Like a Flame. Before Burning Like a Flame came out. It's like, oh yeah. That's it. That's... In fact, let me play that while I'm looking for your Iron Maiden cover. Give me a second. Uriah. Yeah, A-H, Kurt. Heep, H-E-E-P. Yeah, well, I was never into him. I wanted to be because of who came from there. Like, you know, Bob Daisley. I really like Bob Daisley's stuff, but I just wasn't a fan. Just wasn't a thing. Here we go. It's the Magician's Birthday. Travelers in Time. Circle of Hands. Well, we're going to play this one way or the other. That's not it. Wizard. Sounds like Ozzy, doesn't it? Ah, here it is. Have a listen. Little steel heart here, too. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, Manowar's got problems.
He was the wizard of 1,000 kings.
Now, if that's not burning like a flame.
Chance to meet him one night wandering. He told me tales and he drank my wine. Me and my magic man.
So there's only, I had one Manowar album, and I was probably 14, maybe 15 when I got it. I might have even not played guitar yet. May have gotten it when I was 13. It was one of my earliest CDs. I had like Ozzy Randy Tribute, I had Classical Gas, and I had this Manowar CD. And I think it did. I think that, you know, it has different things, but the vocal melody is almost the same. Never thought our love would last for so long. He was the wizard of 1,000 kings. It's the same. And Dokken is a fan of these guys, so there you go. What's up, JD? Let me go get my dog. I'm sure she wants to come back in, but she is not a barker. Well, she is, but she's not a lot. Hello, baby kitty. Household duties. And I said duty. Alright, so back to it. Hey, you know what? I'm going to mess around with some stuff just a little bit. And a little bit more compression. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do. So. Yeah, well. Sometimes you can tell by listening to other people's music whether they're fans of somebody or not, you know. So, let's go into the Manowar thing. So I had Kings of Metal. And even at that time, I didn't know the word cringe, but it was pretty cringy. There was some amazing shit on it. Don't get me wrong, but it was kind of cringy. So after that went away, God, how many years later? I was 27 years later, 8 years later. A friend of mine who was really into Iron Maiden named Andy. Andy came up to me and he said, "Have you heard the new Manowar?" And I'm like, "I don't think I really care for Manowar." And he's like, "Have you heard the new Manowar?" And I'm like, "No." All right, well, so I'm going to find it. And it has something to do with horses made of steel and saying, because we're metal and we're going to kick your ass. That's Manowar. That's who they are. No, I'll be 51 at the end of this month. Literally, the very end of this month. If it's February, too late. If it's January 31st, that's it. So, let's see if I can find that video. But this guy played a lead on it that was so damn good. I mean, really, 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 really good. I had to at least caveat and go, you know what? That's pretty damn great, and I can listen to that lead a lot. Oh, there goes those messages again. You know, if I read them, even if you delete them, they're still read. Bet you didn't want to think about that, did you? So, Let's see if I can find it, though. Manowar albums. This would have been in 1994 or 5. So this was all Manowar that I'm talking about right there. Well, thank you. So Manowar's discography. Let me see here. That would have been 2002, Warriors of the World from Nuclear Blast. The song in particular, great question. Oh, no, that was too late. 2002, it wasn't 2002. 96, Louder Than Hell. It could have been the Triumph of Steel, though. I mean, really, they got a lot of stuff. That was 1992. Return of the Warlord, Brothers of Metal, very possible. Let's see. King, Today is a Good Day to Die. My Spirit Lives On. The Power, number 1. Outlaw, Courage. Yeah. Could have been Brothers of Metal, part 1. Let's find out, shall we? I think we will. Let's see. Fine with me knowing, not others watching later. Well, if I'm saying what it is that you said, there's no use in you deleting it because I'm still saying it aloud. You should get that. So.
Strike while the iron is hot. Steel.
They inspired a lot of those guys. I didn't like Prong after that. I liked their first album. They had a song on there called Freezer Burn. In fact, it was the first cut off of it. That was pretty good. But I didn't like anything after the one that I referenced. But that to me is still pretty great. Kind of really ballsy thrash. Do we have a...
To the power. Tricks to the...
That is not it, but that's still kind of cringe to me. They take themselves... That's it. I don't like listening to people who take themselves too seriously. I can't do it. No, I don't like Linkin Park or Nickelback. I don't like anything that came out on the radio after 1992. It's very easy to hate Nickelback. One, they're Canadian. No, the thing about Nickelback that I think bothered a lot of people is the okay. There's a phenomena about popular music that is, I'm completely serious. There's a phenomenon about popular music about it being overplayed, like intentionally killed, because the record companies are just making a buck right now. Play it every hour, and then everybody's going to get sick of it really, really, really fast. But there was a problem, I think, with all music that came out radio-wise, like grunge, alternative, Nickelback, after 1992, and that's the kind of pity me, martyrdom, BS lyrics that's just whiny. Never made it as a wise man. No, stop right there. I hate you. So, I don't want to hear about that kind of crap. This is how you remind me of who I really am. Yeah, it's all whiny. It's crap. I don't like that. I like, if you're going to say something, say it, but don't fucking whine about it. That's crap. It all sounds so, self-important. And, like the pity me, martyrdom lyric type of thing. I can't stand it. So I'm completely serious. Radio release matters because, you'll still have people today that will listen to Nickelback, but not, it's mostly Nickelback, I think, or Rick Beato. And I like Rick Beato, but, geez, I think he actually made their album. So they're, of course, subjective, but music is completely subjective, and that's why I don't mind talking about my likes and dislikes, because it shouldn't affect you, what I like or dislike. So... no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's whiny, and I don't like whiny lyrics or people who think they're too much of themselves and put that into a song. I don't like that at all. That's just me. Now, you can like it. Again, music is the only thing that I think is truly relativistic. If you like it, it's fine. If I don't, it shouldn't affect you. It's you like it, enjoy it. If I hate it, it shouldn't bother you. If you hate something that I like, it doesn't bother me. You know? So, yeah, I think they're Canadian. No, there's a couple of bands from Canada that I think are really special and fantastic, but most of the bands from Canada, and I'm going to offend anybody here, I don't care, but most bands from Canada I've ever heard, there's something wrong with them, I can't quite place it. Eventually, I just started categorizing it as like, oh, they're from Canada. That explains it. You know, like Cryptopsy, amazing, ripping, serious death metal. But there was always something wrong with them. I couldn't quite place it. I heard they were from Canada. Oh, maybe that's it. No. Rush, great stuff. Kind of not right sometimes, and kind of, what's wrong with that? Can't quite tell. It's Canada. Annihilator, Jeff Waters, one of the best guitarists of all time, in my opinion. 50% of the stuff off of, we're talking about classics like, what is that? Alice in Hell, Lygia, Schizos Are Never Alone, all that kind of stuff. 50% of that album's fantastic. The rest of it is kind of like, there's something kind of wrong with it. Can't tell what it is. Oh, it's Canadian. There you go. Kick-Axe. Great choruses, Blow My Fuse, stuff like that. A little gay, but, but, it's still pretty good choruses. But other things like, don't close your eyes. What's wrong with that? Oh, they're Canadian. Well, that explains it. So there it is. Alice in Hell. No, it's great stuff. But that's my take on the Canadian stuff. And I do say that somewhat tongue-in-cheek because I am sure not all Canadian bands have something wrong with them. It's just, this is me kind of, again, that's tongue-in-cheek. But in a semi-serious tongue-in-cheek. But, yeah. Anyway, let's see if I can find that tune before you completely lose interest. Let's try Triumph of Steel. No. Maybe it was Metal Warriors. It's hard to tell. A lot of their songs sound like they're going to be the same thing. So, Metal Warriors, Man of War. It just happens to also be an NES game. Warriors of the World Unite, maybe? Nope. Well, anyway, the guitar player, Carl, turned out to be a kitty diddler. So that's why I kind of have a problem with Man of War now. Yeah, good times. So don't diddle kids. It's a good thing. So, have I heard the new Iotune Kinship album? I have not. Give me a second and I will. Well, it's going to take a little longer than that, I have a feeling. But I'll give it my best shot. So let's see here. I am still looking, though, for that particular... I don't know if I'm ever going to find it. But tell you what, if I do locate that particular Man of War tune, it does have a great guitar solo on it. Absolutely ripping. But again, Carl, not exactly good for children. And he's in prison right now for it, so that's good. Oh my god, I'm envious, dude. Actually saw them. That's fantastic. The first 5 Rush albums. Okay, well, I know I'm kind of skipping around there, but... So, you have to recognize them for what they were trying to be. They were trying to be Led Zeppelin. And once you get around the idea that they were trying to be Led Zeppelin, then, you can kind of... now I get it. Okay, everything's cool. And so, I did a late stage in life Rush deep dive. And I listened to every single album they ever made. Like 3 or 4 times trying to get into them. And I apologize, but I can't. So I like 6 songs that they've done and recognize them for what they were, and their contribution to music is incalculable. I recognize them for that. I just don't really care for it. So, yeah. But I like the fact that they can count non time signatures and fill up a lot of space audibly. Good stuff. And I really dig the lyrical content on a lot of the tunes that the Ayn Randian bent. So there's that. So, that's good. Let's see here. Videos. Oh, this is the full album. But what the hell? Let's skip around, see what we got.
I've known you
That is a very familiar voice. Really trying to figure out where I've heard that before.
I never saw cause for
I got it. I got it. Give me a second. I'm going to pull it up. Ah, wrong album. Ah, there we go. Listen. Musical. Metal, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's hilarious. They're literally trying to be Led Zeppelin. Absolutely. Geddy Lee's high vocals are trying to be Robert Plant. Alex Lifeson's favorite guitarist was Jimmy Page. So, you know, but you could really hear it in stuff like Working Man or you know, that kind of thing. It's very, very. There's a lot of Zeppelin there. Let's see. I wouldn't say 2112 was very Zeppelin. It had Zeppelin elements to it, but it wasn't very Zeppelin. The earlier stuff was extremely Zeppelin influenced. Oh, you don't have to hate Ayn Rand. She loves you. How could you hate somebody you never met? Did she steal your beer? Let's see. Miscellaneous. Let's see if I can find this. Yeah. You know, I'm just being playful, right? Let's see. My Heart Amorphous, Mastodon. Nope, neither of those. Oh, I thought I had it in here. I'm sure I've got it somewhere in there. Power, possibly. Nope. All right, I'll just look it up this way. I'll look it up this way. I know I've got this. Access and O-U-S. And that would be song. Maybe I've talked too much about it. Let's see. I gotta find it. Nope, it's not Mozart. Nope. Oh my God. All right, fine. Anybody know Anek Vangersbergen? Dutch. Glorious vocalist. Contributions. I'm gonna find it. This is terrible. There we go. Show. Good. Solo, Gathering, Deborah Townsend Project, Made in United, Gentle Storm. Brr. She was in something else. And that's not it. And that's not it. And that's not it. It's almost as if it doesn't exist anymore. Well, that's kind of crap. Arion. There it is. All right. So the band I'm thinking of here is a little on the pretentious side. But what I just heard from Iotune reminds me a little bit of this when he starts talking. Now, we're not going to listen to all 11 minutes of this. And this is very Battle of Evermore. You gotta know. So. I told you it's pretentious, right?
What hidden place
That's it.
is this that I've arrived in?
But you see, it's the tone, it's the timbre of the voice that it reminded me of right there. So, what is this? You know, that's it. That's. Now, I'm sure it doesn't stay the same. It doesn't. It's very kind of majestically Prague. So. No, that's not. That was Aryan. So this is from Kinship. Now, I was trying to find what it reminded me of.
Our childhood song. An oath.
Here, let me show you.
Never lay down arms. I feel a coming end. It's as if I see through it all. Now would you know if I
A little
was
Jeff Tate,
gone?
too.
Brothers dissolves. To leave you is a sin. For my own story forced to begin.
It's pretty.
I see you here, but you're so far away, so far.
So that would be. Easier to play it that way. Are they actually tuned to standard pitch? Really? Yeah, it reminds me of something else, though. Besides the Jeff Tate-ness. Oh, that's outstanding. Tell you what, man, I'm going to send this to a friend of mine who might appreciate the crap out of it. Hey, do you know who signed them? Out of curiosity? What their record label is? Let's see. Oh, where the hell am I? Oh, that's not it. Oh, that is. No, that is it. Compose Joel, right there. Oh, wait. You might want to have a listen to this. You never know. And you know what? I'm having another cookie. You never know. So let's see. There we go. Send. Yeah, so that's something I'm going to have to revisit. Listen to the whole thing, because that so far is really great. Suddenly, a Nick Vengersbergen appears. The pretentiousness returns. I think it was artwork.
Show us the way from damnation to salvation.
She's got such a great voice. And can pull it off live. She used to sing in The Gathering. So, she really kills it in a minute and gets all Lydian with it. There. So, if you haven't heard The Gathering, I recommend Mandylion. Some people like Nighttime Birds a lot. They got weirdly dance music oriented with How to Measure a Planet, but the song Liberty Bell is actually pretty good. In a very happy context. So, yeah, she's probably my favorite female vocalist, though. She's just got the pipes, man. Very, very cool. So, yeah, I think that's a treacher. That's like a tree creature, but it's a treacher. So... let's see here. Flip a switch. Yeah, I gotta say, Fusion Edge pickups don't sound too bad. They have a very nice lead tone. I'm still not sold on them as rhythm, oriented pickups. But they are the noisiest things when you split their coils, man. Other pickups, you can split coils and they'll be mostly quiet. But these, just noisy as all get out. I might try to fix that someday, but today is not that day. Van Halen. Gone too soon. But at any rate. Let's see. What time we got here? It's almost 8 o'clock. I'll be darned. I don't know if it's going to be a short one. Actually, I got a question about the not liking it. Maybe this is me being too tired, but what's not to like about Ayn Rand? She's so full of herself. She's so self-assured that her way is correct absolutely because she calls it objectivism. I like objectivism. I consider myself an objectivist. But I am not objective to the point of fault where it's like, this is objectively so musically. That's fault. That there can objectively be good or bad music. I think that there can be to certain degrees, but it really depends on who you ask. So, like if you ask Rolling Stone magazine, what good music is, you're going to get a bunch of music that everybody here would probably consider crap. So, but they really like it. I don't know if they actually do, though. I have a strange feeling that they like music that is written in the lowest possible form for anybody doing creative writing stuffs, and that is subversion and irony. They like the worst band to be the best band, and that's why Sleater Kinney became popular. They were crap, and they were recognized in Olympia as being kind of shit, and then suddenly they were in Time magazine as the most important band you've never heard of, and then ever since then it's like they got famous for what? For nothing, for being shit. So. I have a video on how to speak my mind now. Rand fan does not use a disadvantage. Well, yeah, there you go. I mean, the way I see it is it's all about, it's perspectives. There is a thing about objective truth. Like I said, I consider myself kind of an objectivist, more of like a realist. Okay, so I don't ascribe to all of the stuff, but still. Jokes aside, you've been meaning to read some Rand. Yes, I absolutely do. I would actually not read her books. They are profoundly boring. And okay, so I've read The Fountainhead, can't stand it. It took me a long time to get through. Well, I can't say I can't stand it. It has some good lessons in it, but it's still kind of crap, and it feels self-important. What I like from her, and this is something you can look up, are her essays, specifically about art, by the way. I might even have one hanging around here. Hold on a second. But I do like Ayn Rand's essays on certain objectivist topics. There's one, though, that is Ayn Rand adjacent. It's not her. She didn't write it. But somebody else did that is an objectivist, and it's called The Philosophic Corruption of Physics. And if you could, it's from David Harriman. And if you could find that, it's absolutely an incredible takedown about how we got to where we are in science. It's awesome. So it's all a philosophical treatise on her beliefs as far as systems of systems are concerned, and that not rugged individualism per se, but it's something like rugged individualism is the most important thing. And I'm kind of with her on that. Look, I can't practice guitar for you, for instance. You'll have to do it for yourself. And if you do, you'll show the fruits of it. If I practice guitar for me, I'll show the fruits of it. We are all collectively atomized by the nature of reality. We are our own individuals. And there's no separating us any further than that. I mean, we're absolutely, I mean, I am not a phone. I am a human being. I am not you. I am me. We are similar creatures, but we're not the same thing. And we are not the same personality. I think different thoughts than you. How can we be connected as one mind collectively if we have different thoughts and come to different conclusions? It's not, we are atomized as people. But so she writes kind of about that, but the importance of it, because the more you have other people dominating what it is that an individual can do or think, the worse it's going to be for everybody. Because individuals that do and think are the ones that come up with the new stuff and the cool stuff. So that's pretty much it. So I'm really pretty sure that there might be a difference between that, yes. But, there's biological differences, too, such as the structure of the brain. Like men don't pass everything through every center of the brain in order to come up with ideas or tasks. We are very compartmentalized, much like Intel processors used to be, whereas women were more efficient with their brains, and they use all of their brain as opposed to just one particular section to do different things. But we also, if we're doing math, we don't pass that through the language section. We literally think differently, so, it's a thing. Let's see, classics fiction, Intelligentsia, it's probably in that one. Let's see, Jerome K. Jerome. I have lots of audiobooks. Lots of audiobooks. Now let's see here. Quantum Physics, Jerome K. Jerome. Let's see, James McAfee, Atomic Adventures. That's a good one. Let's see. Lots of stuff about atomic stuff. Atomic Accidents, that's great. Eamon Shea. I wonder if it's in other nonfiction or political. It's a lot of stuff from Ayn Rand. The Philosophy of Literature. It's just a series of essays. No, I've never heard of that book, but it doesn't really surprise me. Misandry has existed for a long time. So, but I mean, if you can have one, you can have the other. So, again, I'm kind of a realist when it comes down to it. Why lie, right? The idea that men and men alone are responsible for all the ills of society has been untrue since women basically have been voting, and since before then too, because it's not just us causing wars, is what I'm saying. Is that other people are poking us, going, hey, this is bad, we want the thing, or hey, this is good, we need the thing. So, but it works in both ways. It's not just a one-way street. So. Oh, I'm sure she got death threats. Nobody on the matriarchy side likes to be challenged, so. Well, I'll give it a shot. Let's see here. Esther Villar. Yeah. I don't know, man. I can kind of think for myself about topics like that and can see it pretty well, but the three-body problem, I've heard of the Netflix series actually describing the communist uprising in China accurately, so I would be interested in actually reading the book. That would be good. Thank you for that. So let's see here. I'm going to pop over yonder, and I'm going to pop this in here, paste and search. Let's see. Argentine German writer. Well, I wonder why they put that there first. Probably to already make your hackles go up about Nazi sympathizers and whatnot. So, I don't know. I think that's kind of crap, but I am sure that they do that. Look, I pay close attention and notice this. If something bad is talked about topically on a news show, listen to how they announce who is doing what. If they use the party affiliation along with the name, it usually belongs to one party only. If they don't use that, but they give a position within the government, it belongs to the other party almost every time. So Rand actually did understand history, economics, math, science, and scientific method. You're wrong. Let's see. Galt's Gulch. Let's see. Perpetual Motion Machine and her philosophy will work in her own fantasy. It's a fiction novel. So, who is John Galt? So, but no, dude. It's fiction. So, why are you complaining about fiction? So, let's see. Nevertheless, as far as like perpetual motion machines go, yes, of course that can't happen, and that's just reality. We can't overborrow. In other words, there's no such thing as an over Unity device. So, and then of course you have to sound smart when you say something like that and go, as far as we know. So, but I'm not going to sound smart and say that because no, according to physics, that's impossible. You actually can't do it. Just like you cannot factually go the speed of light. It's just, it can't happen. As far as like economics are concerned, Keynesian economics are terrible. So I love how you're changing the subject. Squirming though, I don't like that. Don't squirm. So yeah, well, I probably should put out other content too, so I appreciate you, man. Or I should probably do what you've been talking about, getting together and doing some sort of like music show and talking literally about that. Music, because it's great. Or we can talk about other things too. Look, some of my favorite topics are history, nuclear science, philosophy. I do like philosophy, although I don't like philosophers. So, but I like to muse. I like to think. It's a great pastime, and you can tell that I've had a great amount of time to do it because at a lot of my jobs I was working by myself at night and there's nobody else around, so all I get to do is think. So there's a nice book though that I think is moderately good at exposing some stuff. Manipulism and the Weapon of Guilt talks about communism in the sense of like how can I put it succinctly, 14 chapters into essentially a single sentence, as an aspect of narcissism and cluster B personality disorder. Done. So, and it's almost like crabs in a barrel. Oh, you're getting out? Let me climb up there too. Oh, I can't because I've just brought you back down. So, yeah, good times. So, JD, do me a favor, man. Really, find at least the first lecture, and I know that's available online for free, of The Philosophic Corruption of Physics. It is not Rand writing this, but it literally takes you through people like Galvani and please look it up. It's like, don't believe this guy. Go and see if they actually did what he's saying they did, right? So when they say, trust but verify, I mean, follow my example here. Trust but verify. Louis Galvani, Ernst Mach, actually would try to analyze the nature of light by sitting in a dark room and pressing on their eyes, saying that the after image has more to do with how light behaves than how their eyes behave. It was a function of biology. It wasn't a function of anything else. It's very, very... That's philosophy corrupting the scientific method. That is not the scientific method. And they literally thought they were studying light. Dude, you've got to check it out. That's literally what they did. So, yeah. So back where I was saying, Bruce Lee, Tao of Jeet Kune Do, very good stuff. I've breezed over it in the past. I have a lot of philosophy on the guitar that goes with that. I was kind of raised in a weird kind of way. I had a lot of reverence for the martial arts, a lot. I did take them for a little while, but that was a long time ago. And this is my martial art now. Since 14, this was it. But I think a lot of the philosophy holds solidly with guitar. Getting your technique to a certain level such that you don't have to actually play a note, but the note plays itself, essentially. You don't, let's see if, it's like a finger pointing to the moon. Don't pay attention to the finger or, you'll miss out on all that heavenly glory. It's fantastic. And yes, that's from Enter the Dragon. But that's essentially, that's it. Let's see. Practical philosophy. Anybody's interested should read. Yeah, great stuff. Let's see. Summarize narcissism in a few words. I am the only one who matters. Others are less. Well, now that's the thing. In, what is that, the 20 Habits of Highly Successful People, it talks about treating everyone as if they're the most important person in the world because in their eyes they are. Well, that essentially means that everyone is a narcissist. But this is where the Rand thing comes in. And as she talks about it, that there is no such thing as altruism. And it's just like saying that there's no such thing as a selfless act, right? Or a selfless good deed. So, oh, which part? Well, I mean, I still think, that's the thing. To muse is to think. To be amused is not to think. And I mean, I can play as a meditation. It's nice to just go ahead and kind of repeat lines again and again and again sometimes, especially when you're just getting into practice mode. The whole John Petrucci, what is that? Again and again with a metronome. There's something nice about that. But in the grand scheme of things, it's like thinking 25 steps ahead. Like you're playing chess against 5 people. How do I mean this? I mean this in the sense that you know what needs to be done if you know what's coming up next. So you can think possibilities. Oh, I'd like to do this, or I'd like to do that. Or let me show you guys something. It is. It's a freeing feeling. It's a glorious thing. Let me go ahead and take that. And I'm going to open Paint. I look at music in a different way, I think, than a lot of people do. So if we listen to a guitar solo, Crazy Train, something like this. Going up higher. And so forth. This is how I hear that. Starts out high, goes low, and then down a little bit more, and then right back up. Na 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 na. So I think of it in like side view linear, like a roller coaster. You've got your loops, you've got your high spots, your low spots. Things go a little bit faster. You're careening down a hill, that kind of stuff, or, doing a lot of, helices or whatever. But that's kind of how I see it. And so when I'm thinking about music and possibilities and what I would like to hear coming up, like in a lead, if I'm improvising, for instance, that's what I see. I see a line. So, and am I pointing in the right direction when I do that? 1 second. That's what I see. No, it doesn't help transcribe, but it helps me think about music in the way that I think about music. I'm not suggesting that this is going to help with anybody's own stuff. This is just how I see it. So it's not a synesthesia or anything like this. It's just how I see it. You have higher parts and you have lower parts. Higher parts, lower parts. Higher parts, lower. I keep pointing in the wrong direction because of the camera. I should go that way. It's the higher and lower parts. There we go. But in general, in the loops and stuff like that, it's just kind of like. I think this comes from me listening to music and watching like air shows, right? Sea lions don't do lines. Yes, correct. Oh wait, yeah, you got a little right. Yeah, so yeah, very well. How you been, John? Long time no see. You just getting up? Don't save it. All right, back to full-time me. Sorry. This is a neat type of thing. It's just much easier to play it this way. Happy New Year to you too, bud. Or you can do all sorts of weird stuff with that. But I didn't do that right. Oh, that's interesting. Hitting wrong notes. Hammett doesn't play wah in all of his solos. That's a misnomer. Hammett plays a lot of wah in all of his latter solos, starting around the Black Album. He has some wah in some solos, but not all. So if you think To Live Is To Die, for instance. I forget how that goes, but anyway. No wah. No wah at all. Good stuff. Fragrance of Sanity, which I also used to know how to play a long time ago. Perhaps I should relearn that. It'd be a good idea. So, yeah, you don't have to play a wah on the ones where he uses a wah either. So, let's see. How did that go? No. How did that go? Oh my god, I forgot how that went. That's it. Oh, I haven't played that crap in a long time. Oh no. Okay, I'm just going to tell you now, whoever hasn't been here since the beginning, I literally got an hour's sleep last night, so I am woozy as all get out right now. So, good times. But, so that... no. So then he starts the wah after that. What is that? Oh, that's that was me being a forgetful old man and not remembering exactly how to play the lead to, So, oh no! Yeah, 1 hour sleep. Serious. I'm absolutely, completely serious. I would not lie about that such a thing. I got 1 hour's sleep. Starting Saturday, I started feeling really, really energetic. And I can't explain why. I haven't changed anything dietarily. I mean, I went back to work a couple of days and then, you know, came home. And so this is it's a little freaky to me, I got to tell you. So the energy that I was feeling at that time usually only happens if I get sick right afterwards. I didn't get sick. So I didn't feel anything coming on. But it's like super energy, then I get the flu. Nope, didn't happen. Super energy turned into, I just feel really good, and then started, you know, cleaning up, doing stuff, getting the other ship set up, and I will be using that next week. So I don't know, but I got a decent amount of sleep Friday, somewhat on Saturday to Sunday, Saturday to Sunday to Monday. I was just restless. I was like anxiety, like crazy. Yeah, lines, right. It's got to be the lines, man. So, no, I'm serious, though. I've got, Enter Sandman. You were right. So, easy as pie. The lead used to be easy as pie. That whole... Yeah, that's, yeah. Where is it? That's it. So then, no. Of course I work full time. That's not in the song. I worked about 7 hours today, and I'm going to be working late tomorrow, and I'm going to be working late the day after that because I'm doling out devices to people that are working on alternate shifts. So, John, I'll be seeing you probably tomorrow night and Wednesday. Yippee-ki-yay. So... No, I think I know where to draw the line on certain personal things. Like, I'm not going to go ahead and, talk about... Yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about that. Or that. And probably not that either. I agree. Let's do that. Tappity-tappities with the... Been doing this for many a year. So let's say you're scooting around on some sweet arpeggios. But you decided you wanted to add a note to the top end of that. Octave? I mean, you could if you wanted to. But I think usually the next note is what's expected, right? And that's another interesting thing we could do. Let's slide that around. And everybody goes up and back. But let's not do that, because going up and back is what everybody does. Let's take it down to the natural seventh, like so, and back up to the root. Interesting. So, what do we have? Go to the seventh on that one. Good stuff. Oh, Van Nuys, that guy from California. Yeah, most everything comes from there, you know. So. Warm-ups, yeah. So I do, and I'll give you some direct tips on that. When I started this whole thing today, I started just by practicing vibrato. Spider chord, yeah, I do like this thing. That's pretty great. Go back to clean tone. No boost, clean. There we go. That's loud enough. This. Well, you can't really go up there, can you? There's that kind of thing. You can do that. Some people take it up to the extremes. Excuse me. How would that go? Something like that, but this. So I like to do a couple of things. My warm-up, literally on Saturdays, is I kind of go through the set list and play things I have problems with. That's the first and foremost thing. So like counting 6s and 5s for the Don't Fear the Reaper lead that. I think it's 6 first and then 5, but yeah. No, it is 5 and then 6. You know, that kind of thing. So I'll work on stuff like that. But no, I like doing little classical numbers. That warms me up better than anything. I would love to do session work for any band that you'd like. I've done some session work for Black Pill Julia, which is not here today. I've done some session work for bands way in the past. Let me bring that up. I did it, so might as well play it. There was a band from Seattle called... Wow. Brain went bye-bye right there. And you were there. You saw it happen. So. Oh, well, I mean, you can if you want. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to look at your Iron Maiden covers. You see, that old person and brain thing, it's a problem. All right, so, Bad Drums by Axis, Mashed, original. Well, this might have been an original. And it would have been 20 Years Gone. Shadow Demon was the name of the band. Let's see if I can find it. There's a track that was played on KISW called And the Meek. KISW is 99.9 FM up here in Seattle during Metal Shop. And it was my proudest moment. My 15 minutes of fame was literally 2 minutes. Because of the guitar solo and what the guy said about it after. He's like, I don't know who played guitar on the first lead, but that's how you make a lead. And I'm like, that's it. I used to have it on tape. It was great. So, in fact, I taped the thing and I sent it to my grandmother because of all the people that I wanted to hear it. I was really happy for my grandmother to hear that. So let's see if I can find it. You might like it. So, and the Meek. Nope, that's a bunch of old instrumentals that are like 10 years old from me. Let's go back here and do... right here. Okay, so this is not the one that made it on their album, but it is the one that made it on their demo, and I have a copy of that. It's pretty good. It's like thrashy power metal. Oh, well, thank you, dude. Appreciate you. So, the only guitar I played on this was the lead. This is funny because what I was working on with this, I'll just tell you the story of how this happened. My old drummer, Clint Clark, played drums on this. Clint is he's just he's the best drummer I've ever worked with in my life. He's so good. And loud and authoritative. And he lives in Everett now, and I'm not even sure if he plays drums, but I hope he does because he was a phenomenally good drummer. Any style, specifically like thrash, death, power. He had a great love for music. Anyway, so Clint here gave me a call one day, and I quit the band that we were in together by Axis, and you can see that on Blabbermouth, by the way. That's fun. But so I quit, and then there were 3, and but Clint called me up one day. He was like, "Hey, I'm doing a session for these guys, and I think you'd really fit in with their style." you really should, give this guy a call. So I gave the guy a call, and he was like, here, send you a couple of emails with some MP3s on it. I want you to play over these parts. I'm like, okay. So I did a thing and I sent it back to him. He's like, yeah, come on up. We want you to. So I went up to Microsoft Recording Studios, and that was put off for a little while because they used to use Macs at the Microsoft Recording Studios in Redmond. And they had switched over a period of a couple months, maybe 3, to PCs. And I went up there and I forgot the guitar I was going to bring. I was bringing 2 guitars, but I brought a USA Jackson Rhodes, and I forgot my 7-string Ibanez, which I was very used to at the time. So my 7-string Rhodes I wasn't totally used to. 22 frets, I wanted 24. I just want familiarity. And it didn't play perfectly for me, and it was basically because the neck was, a 16-inch radius, and the bridge was a 12-inch radius, and that can't really ever work. You got to shim the stuff. I didn't really work on guitars at the time. That was a project for later, but I sold it to a guy in Las Vegas a few years later anyway. But here's the deal though. So I go up there with one guitar. I get to plug into an amp I've never plugged into in my life. And I get to learn that everything that I had already written solos for was not the parts where he wanted me to lead over. Actually, I wanted you to play over this. So I had to write something on the spot, and then they wanted me to harmonize it. So I did, on the spot. That was fun. So let's get to it. Oh, that's me. Here we go. This was fun, though. It was a good time. Easy to play. Wasn't bad. Thank you for listening. And bow, thank you. But yes, good stuff. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I did 3 tracks in total, and because they also had a second guitarist come in and do other leads, they basically split us kind of between. I got one whole song to myself, and I was never satisfied with the way the lead came out. He got one whole song to himself, and we shared a song. So the next guy who would do a lead on this was the other guitar player, and he actually has this great ending. It's fantastic, really well done. But this whole thing essentially started out me doing this. Right? So I played this with one guitar. Something like that. It's funny. I never practiced that, so the fact that I can remember some of this is pretty neat. The second guitar part, I decided to play it kind of interesting. So I start out in the same place, well, roughly, and we were all tuned flat. This is not flat, so I start taking it up. Something like that. But anyway, I don't know. Something like that. But yeah. Then something like that. But no, that was essentially it. But harmony, so you can't just stop there. What did I do with that? I'm pretty sure I did that. And then when the next one is, so that would be here. So yes. And then yeah. That was it. Something like that. But that was fun. It was a good time. I learned a lot. I basically didn't do anything but listen to Uli Roth all the way up, and yeah, was good. I still wound up sounding a lot like Marty Friedman. Oh, and I do play some guitar in another group called that's not out yet, and it's not going to be coming out for a while, I don't think. And Bill has disappeared, but he has a band called Reptalian. Give me a second here on that. Good album. I have it electronically. Don't need to open that. That's good. But yeah, so but yes, good. Very, very good stuff. It's like everything in there is extremely well thought out. It's like a charging bull in places. I like it. It's great thrash. It has a lot of... Ooh, sorry about that. It has a lot of quality to it that, old Megadeth, good Megadeth used to have. But it sounds like a charging bull. It's great. And he's let me play a lead on a couple of things. Asked me to, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to. Let's do this. And so I got to play some lead tracks, and he has those. But if the second Reptalian album is ever made, I'll get to be on that as well. So that's that. But yeah. If anybody has any ideas or they want me to play something with them, I'd be happy to do it. I mean, I do work for a living, and I do get in my 40 at least every week. And I'm not talking about Old English, so I'm talking about hours. But and I have band practice every Saturday morning. So aside from that, yeah, I'm open to do some stuff. But, I'm really falling behind on a lot of stuff that I wanted to do for this channel. There's at least 4 or 5 tunes that I wanted to cover that, I'll learn a little bit of, and then I got to do some other stuff. So and then I get interested in doing another thing. And, before I'm done with this thing, I've got another thing to do. And it reminds me of that meme with the guy going and the girl with but that's it. Hey, every time I see another song I want to do, I'll just go pursue that instead of finishing it up and actually, recording it. But no, I'm absolutely serious. There's a tune though from Coroner that I'm dying to, yeah. How do they? How do they? I forget. Anyway. Well, I've never learned Die With Your Boots On's lead. But let's figure that out, and then I'm going to go to bed. Maybe actually sleep, I don't know. I would be happy to bless you with a few spontaneous solos in that project. So, Dark Renaissance. I've put my email up before. Fetch it this time. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna die with your boots on, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Alright, so here we go. Alright. You got it? I'm yelling? Hey, Danny! Man, well, yeah, it's been a while. Sorry, I've been kind of not on Fridays. My apologies. But yeah, good to see you again, man. Very much so. How's the playing? Let's see here. Oh, yeah, music. God damn. Musical, holiday, jazz, metal, adolescent leftovers, King Diamond. No, Iron Maiden, and that was off of Peace of Mind. No, it wasn't. Well. Oh, yeah, it was. Track 4. I have to have at least a little bit. My ear is gone. It is E. I have to turn it up. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on a second. Here we go. You were asking for a lead, so let's get there. And next Monday, I'll actually know the whole song. EGC thing. Very cool of you. With that, straight down to E minor scale starting in G. And then this is more pentatonic sweeping here. And that's down to B. So what do we start out? Something like that. Oh God, what do you do? I mean, I can do this as I go. Blap, blap, blap. The part after. Oh, what I just did is what you don't get? Okay, hold on. That. I mean, you can fake it. I mean, he actually legitimately, plays it very quickly pentatonically. You can do it down, down, up. That's a very common way of doing it. That's more of a Marty Friedman approach. Down, down, up, up. But it's basically... I would count this in like a numbered kind of a way. 1, 2. You can do it this way, though. And it's not the same, but you could fake it. See what I mean? Oh, no! Sorry. Going on with it, though. Oh, that's, A. Guaranteed. So you're switching down. I'm not sure if he does F or F sharp there. It's got to be F. So yeah, this. It's, oh yeah, I don't have any, there's no identifying markers. Well, one second. Here we go. So, as you can see, what I'm doing here is, here. Yeah. Actually... probably takes it all the way straight down there to from here. Just jumps there. No problem, dude. No problem at all. Cool. Anything else on that? That's pretty common. That's kind of a cliche in a good way, Dave Murray run. So, or just running it on up. And yes, bend with your fourth finger. Oh, I won't break a string. You'll know if I break a string. Excuse me. There we go. So that's that. So there you go. That's how to figure out a lead real fast. And the harmony to that. Probably. that's it. Let's figure that out for sure. Maybe I should do that. Not bad. But at any rate. All right. Well, blessings to y'all, gentlemen, for coming around and hanging with me and getting into arguments and all the sorts of other scrappy details and stuff. Seriously, though, wish me luck on sleeping tonight. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold out as far as like, all right, I go to bed and I'm wide awake again. You know, what the hell is going to happen? I don't know. I'm just really hoping that I can actually get some sleep. It would be very, very nice. Yeah, anxiety. I'm not even an anxious person. I'm just, squirrely. But have a great night, brothers. Auf Wiedersehen until next week. And in a new room, it will be done. It is done now, but it will be done then. And as far as John is concerned, John, I'll see you soon. And also, I should definitely remove this before it goes into the wrong hands. Ha 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 ha. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. And play faster. Unlike me.